Hello there,
General Kenobi.
and welcome to another episode of the Prequel Gang Podcast, the show where we talk about movies completely unscripted. Today we're talking about Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, I love this movie, honestly.
Yeah, this
It's so
movie,
iconic.
yeah, it is really iconic. It was made in 1993, and, it has become very popular, I guess, and,
Yeah, really popular.
yeah. So, anyway, this movie starts with, some people working in Jurassic Park, trying to uh, control the dinosaurs, and then we see some. Uh,
They're bringing a new dinosaur into the park. They're bringing a new velociraptor into the park.
right. Meanwhile, we see some people who are digging for dinosaur bones, and they come across a velociraptor, and then this guy named
Well, not a
Alan.
real velociraptor, a velociraptor skeleton.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Yeah.
So then this guy named Alan starts explaining to
Alan Grant.
Alan Grant.
Dr.
Yes,
Grant.
he starts explaining that how a velociraptor actually would have attacked someone. There was a kid there who was he didn't think that it looked very menacing. Then Alan Grant started explaining that how it doesn't attack from the front, but attacks from the side. And the point is that you're alive when it starts to eat you, and its vision is not based on movement. Apparently, the T-Rex's vision was based on movement, but the Velociraptor's isn't. Anyway, so then Alan Grant and another scientist are contacted by a guy named John, who is he basically runs Jurassic Park, and so they get in a helicopter, and there's some other people, so some other people. One of the characters is probably my favorite character in the movie, Dr. Malcolm, who they kind of ruined in the second movie, but we're not talking about that one. So.
He was okay in the second movie. I like the second movie.
I don't. But anyway,
Well, because there's only so much chaos theory you can explain without going over the viewers' heads.
Okay, but the thing is though, it's not just about the chaos theory. It's also just a lot of other really memorable quotes, about how what
when you gotta go, you gotta go.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. And also, what you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. And what else? What else did he say? Hold on, I forgot.
Life finds a way.
Yes, life finds a way. That's what I was thinking of.
Finds a way. Well, honestly, they cut down the original quote so much in the movie. The original quote was the "Life finds a way" quote. It was originally so much longer.
What could they possibly have had other than "Life finds a way"?
They also had "Life finds a way," but that was just the ending of the quote.
Yeah, that was also the ending of the quote in the movie. He was prefacing stuff that's all I'm saying is life finds a way. It's I haven't read the book, and I probably am not going to anytime soon.
It's so good. It's honestly so good. Michael Crichton is probably my second favorite author.
What's your favorite author?
Plato.
Okay.
Oh, fridge. Oh, sorry.
What happened?
I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront right now, and intense game. But yeah.
Of course you are. Anyway, what was I about to say? Anyway, so they arrive on the island where Jurassic Park is, and they get shown some dinosaurs and
no, it's a real island, the place where they filmed it.
Okay.
But obviously there's no dinosaurs there.
Right. So they find they see some dinosaurs, and Alan Grant is really excited about that, and yeah. Anyway, so they go to some place, this building, right? Then they get shown a little presentation about how they actually got the dinosaur DNA. They got
They spared no
fossils.
expense.
Yeah, they spared no expense. Like apparently, what happened was there was like a mosquito that was like
Oh
fossilized
yeah,
in
didn't
tree sap.
my science teacher actually talked about this, like how that would actually be possible the other day.
Okay. So apparently there was a mosquito that was sucking dinosaur blood that got fossilized in tree sap, and some scientists found that mosquito, and
Well, it wasn't just one mosquito. That was just one instance. Like it was multiple mosquitoes.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they only showed one, but like, okay,
Yeah, that just because like an example. That's like there's a lot of mosquitoes.
right. So anyway, they took the DNA sample from the blood that the mosquito was like sucking, um and like there were a lot of gaps in the DNA, so apparently they used some DNA of a frog to like fill in the gaps or something, and
Yeah.
then they get taken into a room with some dinosaur eggs, and one of them hatches, and it's a baby velociraptor, and
And then
it's pretty cool.
Dr. Alan Grant is just like, you're beating velociraptors here, and then there's just like this one intense kind of scene.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, that's where the whole thing happens, and also apparently they biologically engineered the dinosaurs so that they're all female, so that they can't breed. So
yeah.
they spared no expense.
Whoopsie. Turns out they can.
Okay. Anyway,
Spoiler alert.
yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that anyway. They then go to like this meeting room, and then they start talking about this stuff, and like Dr. Malcolm is just not really into the idea of this park. Like this isn't the species that that's going extinct because of like
Then why did?
deforestation or the building of a dam. This was like
Oh,
they had their chance before humans existed. So like, and nature selected them to be extinct. So like this could have like catastrophic consequences. And
yeah.
John is just uh like like actually the whole reason why they were brought into the park was because like they needed like some scientists to endorse it so that they can get their insurance company stuff
To like
like
support. Yeah, to
yeah
like
like
actually fund the park.
yeah to like fund the park. um so anyway, um uh yeah, so then we get introduced to John's grandkids, Tim and Lex, who
Pretty much the main characters of the film,
well, kind of, yeah,
aside from Grant,
right.
of
So,
course.
uh, so like they go into these cars that are like on electrically powered rails, and
It's called it's called a monorail or Timmy.
okay, all right, whatever. You're focusing on little details. The very thing you
You
told
know
me
they
not
have
to
those
do.
in Disney World, right?
I've never been
Like
to Disney
those,
World.
that's a real thing.
Okay, Kenny. Again, you're focusing on minor details, and now I'm going to do the same. So then,
It's whatever.
so
Oh
then,
frick! I should have watched out for those wrist rockets more.
okay. So anyway,
I got killed by Darth Maul.
there were two of those cars on monorails, and like Tim and Lex went into one of them, and like Dr. Grant, Dr. Malcolm, and one of the other characters, I forgot what her name was. They went into the other one, and like I remember this one part where the kids were like, oh, there was like this touch screen in the car, and they were like really impressed, like, oh my god, you can touch the things and it'll talk about whatever you want. Like, okay, it's a touch
Oh,
screen. You never seen one of those? You've never seen a phone before? You know,
our Timmy phones didn't exist in 19 whatever the
1990.
year
What
was,
like
1993.
what do you mean phones didn't exist? What are you
Well, they
talking
had
about?
phones, but it was like, have you ever seen an old Nokia? That's
Oh,
pretty much what that's basically phones had keyboards and little like directional pads.
Directional pads on a phone? What?
Yeah, because that's the only way you could like select stuff. I gotta bring in. I'll show you. I'll show you.
Whatever. So anyway, they go and like some of the a lot of the dinosaurs were just not showing up where they were supposed to be. But then they got to the
Yeah.
one of them. Meanwhile, Dr. Malcolm was like explaining chaos theory, like it's some unpredictability stuff. Like he took some drops of water and like dropped them onto one of the other characters' hands, and like one time, it went to like her thumb, and then the other time that they thought it was he dropped it in the exact same spot, but it went to another place, and he was explaining that like it all depends on like some very unpredictable conditions, like maybe the arrangements of the hairs, or like some very microscopic imperfections on the skin that caused it to like go some other direction, and like it's like everything is unpredictable. Like the fact that Alan Grant just got out of the car, nobody could predict that, and then the other character also got out of the car, and
And
then he
then
started monologuing just to himself for literally no
and now
reason.
I'm in the car talking to. And now I'm in a car by myself talking to myself. See, who could have predicted that?
Exactly. See, this is why I like Dr. Malcolm in this movie compared to the second movie.
Yeah.
Like second movie,
Dude,
like
Dr.
literally
Malcolm is
none of
so good in
that.
the book. And in the second book.
The
But
second
yeah.
second book, there was a
Okay.
second book.
Yeah, there's yeah.
Okay. Like
Also
Jurassic Park.
Dr.
What?
Hammond dies in the first book.
Okay. What?
He gets eaten by the compies. The little dinosaurs.
That's weird. But whatever. What was I gonna say? Anyway, the one of the dinosaurs apparently was like was sick, and
Triceratops.
yeah,
Was
the
sick. Yeah.
Triceratops,
And
uh
the dino droppings.
yes.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, yada yada yada. Plants, and then big storm. So
Yeah.
this is how one of the characters one of the characters gets separated from the rest of the group, which decides just to go back to like the hotel and keep carrying on with like the cars.
Hold on. I just looked up the list of Jurassic Park characters, and so the character who I couldn't remember the name of, her name is.
You couldn't remember Dr. Palmer's name?
No, that's.
That is who you're thinking of, right?
No, Ellie.
Yeah, aka Dr. Palmer. That's her last name.
Whatever. Anyway, whatever. So Ellie stays with the Triceratops at first, but then like goes back. Meanwhile, everyone else keeps going on the monorail thingy. Meanwhile, actually earlier in the movie, we saw a character named Dennis Nedry get a kind of like an assignment to get some dinosaur embryos and bring them back to someone to get paid, and he was like doing a very bad job at his job in Jurassic Park itself.
Yeah.
So then he basically shut down the entire electrical system thing, and like so the power went out, and then like the T-Rex kind of escaped from its place, and so the kids, they were like they had like a big flashlight that they were like shining, and they couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
And apparently the T-Rex's vision was based on movement, so they kind of needed to stay still, but they weren't. And then the guy who was with the kids, he went to the bathroom that was nearby, and that's
you gotta go when you gotta go.
That's what Dr. Malcolm says at that moment.
I'm getting destroyed by Dooku.
Anyway, after that, like the T-Rex actually starts like kind of pushing the cars, and kind of he flips over the cars with the car with the kids in it, and so Dr. Grant gets this thing that's like with fire. Not sure what that was.
It's a road flare.
a road flare, whatever. So then he uses that to distract the T-Rex, and then he throws it to the side. But then Dr. Malcolm does the same thing, and he just kind of starts running with it, and he's like,
Yeah.
get the kids, I'll distract the dinosaur." And so he does that,
Yeah.
and then
And basically,
so Alan gets the
yeah.
kids out of the car, and then they kind of like they go down in uh how do I explain this? Yeah,
They basically fall off of the cliff thing.
yeah, and the car lands in the tree while Tim was in it. But Lex was with Alan, so then Alan had to climb that tree to get Tim out of there. And at that point, like the kids were freaking out. Like the guy, that other guy left them, and then he was actually kind of killed by the T-Rex. So F in the chat, except not really. He basically left kids unattended.
Frick! I just got killed by Darth Maul. Sorry. Okay, I won't do anything. I'll be quiet from now on.
Okay. Anyway, so then Alan and the kids, they start trying to go back to like reunite with the rest of the group. Meanwhile, John, Ellie, and everyone else is trying to figure out how to get the power back on. And Dennis got the embryos and is trying to get to the dock, but then he gets lost.
And he gets killed by Dilophosaurus, the spitting dinosaur.
Yeah. Right. So, anyway, this is kind of the point in the movie where it gets a little bit scary with all these dinosaurs. Which, by the way, the effects for these dinosaurs, they're
not effects, they're animatronics, or Timmy. I told you this already.
Like animatronics, whatever. Like, you know, they look realistic. You know, it's like it's a thing that's actually there, that's being filmed by a camera, and it looks natural, basically, and it's good. They spared no expense with this filmmaking.
No, they didn't. Okay, so basically, yeah, that happens. And by the way, in the book, there was 2 lawyers. One of them, I forget the name of, dies like the lawyer does, and the other one survives and kills a couple velociraptors.
Okay. Anyway, so Alan and the kids, they keep going, and like they fall asleep on a tree, and there was like
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, that whatever that was. They like they kind of had an interaction with it, and the kids were a little bit scared at first, but Alan reminded them that that is a herbivore. It only eats plants. It's not going to eat them. It's just there for the tree. So
yeah,
that was a fun scene. And so yeah, they keep going. Meanwhile, John, Ellie, and some other guy, they go, and like they needed to go to the place where you can turn the power off and on, and they do that. Meanwhile, Alan and the kids, they have to climb over a fence, which is like electrified, but since the power was out, they could climb over it. But then while they were doing
then Timmy gets shocked.
Ellie turns on the power thing, and then Tim gets shocked, and it kind of sends him flying off of the fence, and he lands there. And then, and then Alan, I guess, performs CPR on him.
Details. Yeah, but basically he's fine. So he takes him back to the main, like, what's it called? The main, like, building.
And there's food there.
Yeah, and they basically eat a bunch, and then velociraptors show up. So basically, they fight some velociraptors in the kitchen and lock one in the freezer, and then they run to like what was it, the control center?
Yeah, and then Lex does some hacking because like she's a hacker apparently, and and she manages to close the locks on the doors and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, the Velociraptor kitchen scene. This scene is like really terrifying because like there's like these kids who are about to get attacked by Velociraptors, and the Velociraptors, they like as previously established, they're extremely dangerous, and the
Intelligent.
kids, yeah, and they're intelligent too. So they're kind of a threat. So this whole scene is very tense, and like the kids, they find clever ways to survive basically.
Like they locked one in a freezer.
Yeah, they something like that. Um, and yeah, after that, like they get the power back on, and then the phones, there were like those phones that were connected by like wires and stuff, like those were back on too. So then they called
But then,
some people
uh-oh,
for helicopters and stuff,
Velociraptor. Yeah.
and then
Oh
they
wait,
got out
you're
of
there.
there.
Uh-huh. And that's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's Jurassic Park. Yeah. So anyway, that's a great movie. Like the first half of the movie, it's just them going to Jurassic Park. It seems like it's a safe place that might have consequences, but then it gets scary, and it's very good. It works because we have these characters who we kind of we care about because they got
Yeah.
proper development, unlike the sequel. And like the whole thing, it's just there's a lot of tense moments with yeah. And also back to what like we said before, that we were gonna mention how dinosaurs actually were able to breed. Apparently, the frogs that they took DNA from were known to change from like male to female, or even back to like if they're like in a single sex environment. And apparently the dinosaurs were able to do the same. So, and that's kind of explains what happened when Alan found some
Yeah.
eggs.
Yep. Okay. That's
Anyway,
pretty much the entire movie.
great movie. I would recommend also the music. The music by John Williams. Oh my God, it is amazing.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, cool. Anyway, yesterday, as in February 8th, because that's what yesterday is at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's Jurassic Park. Great movie. Absolutely would recommend it. And yeah, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and keep
Please.
having the high
Yeah.
ground.
Bye.